The stars outside the spaceship shimmered like diamonds on black velvet. Inside, the young human explorer, Alex, stared wide-eyed at the alien city sprawling below. He had never seen anything like it. Towering crystal spires reflected light in all directions, and strange creatures floated along magnetic pathways, gliding without effort. Beside him, Lyra, the alien girl, laughed softly. Her skin shimmered a soft violet under the spaceship's lights, and her eyes sparkled with mischief. She had been teasing Alex ever since he arrived on her planet. "Come on," she said, her voice musical. "I have something fun to show you. You'll love this." Alex followed, curious. Lyra led him through twisting corridors of an ancient ruin, walls carved with strange symbols that pulsed faintly as if alive. In the center of the chamber, on a raised pedestal, rested an object that seemed out of place, a suit of armor, polished and shining, unlike anything Alex had seen. "Wow," Alex whispered. The armor looked heavy but elegant, with delicate curves and strange markings that glowed faintly. "It's amazing. Does someone wear it?" Lyra's grin widened. "Maybe, but only my ancestors. I was thinking maybe you could try it." Alex blinked. "Me? Wear that? I'm not exactly built for alien armor." Lyra laughed, a soft musical sound. "Exactly. That's why it will be funny. You'll look like a tiny human trying to be a warrior." She tilted her head, teasing him. "It's just for fun. No danger, I think." Alex hesitated. The armor gave off a faint warmth, almost inviting him, but still he was nervous. "Are you sure this is safe?" "Safe?" Lyra repeated, rolling her eyes. "Nothing ancient is ever completely safe. But that's part of the fun." She winked. "Just try it." With a nervous shrug, Alex stepped forward. Lyra helped him lift the chest plate, which felt surprisingly light. He slipped his arms into the gauntlets, and then the boots and leggings. To his shock, the armor seemed to fit perfectly, as if it had been made for him, not some alien giant warrior. Lyra's laughter faded into a quiet curiosity. "Huh, it fits better than I expected." She leaned closer. "Be careful, human. Don't break anything." Alex took a deep breath. He adjusted the helmet, which slid over his head like silk. The inside glowed faintly, and he could hear a soft humming, almost like a heartbeat. He froze. "Lyra, it feels alive." "That's normal," she said quickly, though her eyes widened. She hadn't expected him to notice so soon. As Alex stood there, unsure, the symbols on the armor's chestplate began to glow brighter. Lines of light traced across the metal, swirling in patterns that seemed to form words, but in a language he could not understand. A soft vibration ran through his body, as if the armor was waking up. "What's happening?" Alex asked, his voice tense. Lyra shook her head. I don't know. Wait." Maybe, before she could finish, the armor shifted slightly on its own, moving as if it had a mind. Alex stumbled back, his heart racing. The glow intensified, and he felt a strange rush of energy. He wasn't scared exactly, but every hair on his arm stood on end. Lyra stepped forward quickly. "Calm down. It's okay. Just don't panic." Alex took a deep breath and tried to steady himself. He could feel strength in his arms, even in his legs. When he moved, it felt smoother, almost faster than normal. He jumped slightly, landing silently on the stone floor. "Okay. This is amazing," he whispered. "I feel strong." Lyra's playful grin returned, mixed with awe. "I didn't think it would do that. I thought it was just a joke." She stepped closer, her eyes scanning the armor. "These are my ancestors' battle marks. No one's worn them in hundreds of years. And now you're wearing them." Alex looked down at himself. The armor glimmered softly, perfectly fitted, as if it had accepted him. He flexed his fingers and felt the power inside. It was tempting, exciting, almost addictive. "You really shouldn't be scared," Lyra said. Her voice was softer now, almost serious. "But maybe you should be careful. This armor is not a toy. Even if I gave it to you as a joke." Alex nodded slowly, feeling the weight of her words. The humor of the situation faded as he realized this was bigger than a simple prank. Something ancient and powerful had just been awakened, and it had chosen him. He glanced at Lyra, who was watching him with wide eyes. "Well," he said, a hint of a smile returning, "I guess the joke's on both of us now." And somewhere deep in the metal of the armor, a faint pulse of light traveled from chest to fingertips. A heartbeat had begun, a heartbeat that was no longer just his, and no longer just hers. The adventure had begun. First awakening, the chamber was silent except for a faint hum. Alex stood frozen, the alien armor clinging to him like it was alive. Lyra circled him slowly, her violet eyes wide with a mix of curiosity and worry. "You really feel it, don't you?" she asked softly. Alex nodded, flexing his fingers. His hands tingled, and the faint glow on the armor's surface pulsed in rhythm with his heartbeat. "Yeah, it's like it's part of me. But why now?" Lyra stepped closer, almost whispering. "That armor hasn't been touched in centuries. My ancestors made it to protect the galaxy. Not for fun, not for jokes." She shivered. "Slightly. Maybe it senses something in you. Something special." Alex glanced down at himself. The armor's glowing symbols shifted and danced, tracing lines across his chest and arms. Suddenly, the symbols flared brighter, forming shapes that looked like tiny, winged creatures flickering across the metal. "Whoa, what are those?" Alex asked, backing away a little. The tiny symbols seemed almost alive, moving independently. Of him, Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Those are called the spirit marks. Only my ancestors' true warriors ever triggered them. And it's rare for someone not from my species to awaken them." A sudden clicking sound echoed through the chamber. Alex looked up and froze. The walls themselves seemed to respond to the armor, with glowing lines spreading outward from the floor in geometric patterns. A faint wind stirred inside the chamber, though there were no windows. "Lyra," Alex whispered, stepping cautiously. His boots left a faint trail of light on the stone floor where he walked. The hum from the armor grew louder, vibrating through his chest like a drum. "It's okay." "Maybe," Lyra said, though her voice wavered. She had never seen the spirit marks behave like this. "Don't touch the walls. Let it calm down." But before Alex could stop himself, the armor reacted. A soft pulse of energy shot from his palms, hitting the wall. Instantly, a holographic map appeared, projecting from the floor. It showed a star map of the galaxy, with dozens of glowing points marking unknown worlds. Alex's jaw dropped. I didn't do that." Lyra's eyes widened. "Yes, you did. But you shouldn't have been able to." She stepped closer, her voice urgent. "The armor, it chooses. It responds to the will of the wearer. Maybe it's testing you." Alex looked down at his hands, trembling. The energy hummed beneath his skin, strong but strangely controlled. He raised a finger, and the glowing points on the map shifted like liquid, forming patterns he didn't understand. "It's alive," he whispered. "It's really alive." Lyra nodded slowly, her playful grin gone. "More alive than anything you've ever known. It holds the history, the power, and the strength of my people. And now, it's yours temporarily. But that also means danger." Before Alex could ask what she meant, the armor flared once more, and a soft voice echoed inside his mind. Not words exactly, but thoughts. "Guardian. Awaken. Protector." "Human?" Alex stumbled back. What was that?" Lyra's eyes darted around the chamber nervously. "The armor communicates. Sometimes it speaks through visions or feelings. It's trying to tell us something important." Alex clenched his fists, and the symbols on the armor began to spin faster, forming bright rings of light around his arms. He felt stronger, faster, more aware. Every sound, every vibration in the chamber seemed sharper. He looked at Lyra. I can feel everything. Like I know the room, the walls, even the stars outside. This is insane. She took a deep breath. You've activated the first level. That's rare for someone like you. Usually, only a descendant of my ancestors could trigger it this early. Something about you is different. Something human, maybe strong enough to survive it. Alex tried to step forward, testing his strength. The moment he moved, the armor shimmered, almost like a second skin. Light arced along his limbs, and he felt energy coursing through him. Careful! Lyra shouted. Don't lose control. The glow intensified, and for a moment, Alex felt like he was floating. The chamber's walls flickered with light, the ceiling bending like water. Then, as quickly as it started, it stopped. The armor calmed, returning to a gentle glow, as if nothing had happened. Alex breathed heavily, his heart racing. That was incredible, but terrifying, Lyra nodded. It's just the beginning. You've awakened something ancient. And if the armor responds to you like this, then maybe, just maybe, it has plans for us both. Outside, the stars continued to shine, unaware that a human and an alien girl had just triggered an ancient power that hadn't stirred in centuries. And deep in the armor, a pulse of light throbbed, as if smiling at its new wearer. Awakening the power, the chamber had gone quiet. Alex stood at the center, the alien armor glowing faintly, as if breathing. Lyra hovered nearby, her violet eyes wide with awe and a hint of fear. Alex flexed his fingers, marveling at the strength flowing through his body. Every movement felt sharper, faster, more precise. But then, the glow on the armor pulsed faster, brighter, almost angry. What's happening now? Alex whispered, stepping back. The symbols on the armor's chest spun like tiny galaxies. Lyra's voice was calm, but tense. That's the armor responding to your energy. You've touched the spirit marks, but you're not a descendant. That means it's testing you. It's trying to see if you're worthy. Alex laughed nervously. Worth? Why? Unjust. A human. I wasn't ready for this. Before Lyra could answer, the armor shook violently, and a wave of light shot outward. The chamber walls flickered like a living screen, showing scenes of battles long past, alien warriors fighting enormous beasts, massive starships exploding, and flashes of energy that made the stones tremble. Alex stumbled, holding the armor tight. This is insane. I can see everything. Yes. Lyra cried, stepping closer. The armor is showing you memories. My ancestors. They fought to protect the galaxy. And now you are wearing their power. It's connecting your mind to theirs. Alex's eyes widened. Every image, every spark of energy seemed real, as if he could feel the battles in his own muscles. He took a shaky step forward, and the chamber responded. The armor's gauntlets flared, and a faint blue light arced between his fingers. With a thought, the arc shot forward, striking a wall. The impact left a glowing imprint of ancient runes, hovering in the air. Alex blinked. I made that happen? Lyra's jaw dropped. Yes, but slowly. You can't control it fully yet. If you push too hard, it could hurt you or worse. Alex swallowed, heart racing. He raised a hand again, unsure. The energy lifted into the air, forming tiny, glowing symbols that floated like fireflies. Then, something strange happened. The symbols began orbiting him, almost like a halo. Lyra's voice was tense. The spirit marks, they're syncing with you. That's extremely rare. Usually this only happens with one of my kind. But somehow, you're connecting. Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. a power humming through his veins. Every nerve, every muscle felt alive. He stepped forward, and the chamber seemed to stretch around him. Shadows bent and twisted as if alive. Lyra. I feel like I can see the room, and outside it, everything. Alex whispered, his voice trembling. I can sense the stars, the planets, even the energy of this place. Suddenly, the symbols on the armor flared violently, and a low resonating hum filled the chamber. A soft golden light shot from the chestplate, forming a protective dome around Alex. He felt his body lift slightly, hovering above the floor. Whoa, Alex gasped. I'm floating. Lyra stepped back, shielding her eyes from the bright glow. The armor, it's awakening fully. This is its first human activation in centuries. You're breaking all rules, Alex. The dome flickered, then stabilized. The chamber trembled, small stones lifting from the floor like weightless debris. Alex's senses sharpened. He could hear the faintest vibrations in the walls, see the tiniest glimmer of energy trails across the room, even feel the pulse of the alien city outside. And then came the whispers, not in words, but thoughts echoing inside his mind. Protector. Worthy, danger comes. Alex staggered, heart pounding. The danger, he stammered. Lyra's expression hardened. The armor senses a threat. It always does when its power awakens. Something from the past is trying to find it. Alex's hands shook, but the armor responded instantly, solidifying the light dome. Energy spiraled along his arms, forming jagged arcs like lightning, but controlled, beautiful, powerful. Keep calm. Lyra shouted. The armor reacts to your fear. Focus, you have to control it. Alex clenched his fists, taking deep breaths. Slowly, the floating symbols calmed, forming a glowing outline around his body, like a second skin. He could feel the power obeying him. Just a little, and then in the corner of the chamber, something stirred. A shadow, massive and alien, moved in the darkness. Alex felt its presence before he saw it, a pulse of energy darker than the chamber, creeping closer. Lyra's eyes widened. That's it. The first test, it's here. You're not just trying on armor. You've awakened something alive. And something else has noticed. Alex swallowed hard. The armor's hum matched his heartbeat, steady now, but loud enough to drown out everything else. His mind raced. Could he fight it? Could he survive what was coming? The chamber trembled. Again, lights flickering. Outside, the stars seemed to hold their breath, and somewhere deep in the metal of the armor, a faint pulse, almost a laugh, vibrated against his chest, as if the suit itself was ready for war. The awakening had begun. The power unleashed, the chamber trembled. Dust swirled in the air, caught in the soft glow of the armor. Alex's heart pounded like a drum, and every instinct screamed at him. This is not a game. The symbols on the armor spun faster than ever. Tiny streaks of light arcing along his arms. He raised his hands instinctively, and the air itself seemed to bend. Sparks of blue and gold energy danced across the floor, leaving glowing lines that faded slowly. Alex! Stop! Lyra shouted, her voice echoing against the walls. You don't know what it can do, but it was too late. The armor responded on its own, amplifying every movement. Alex's jump sent him sliding across the chamber, leaving glowing streaks in his wake. His strength was incredible. He could have shattered the walls, but he didn't want to. Yet the armor pushed him, testing him, stretching his limits. I can't control it. Alex yelled, struggling to hold his hands steady. Energy leaped from his fingertips, forming arcs that danced around him like serpents. The floor trembled. Beneath the power, stones levitating, spinning in the air. Lyra's violet eyes glowed in the dim light. Focus. Think. You're not just wearing it, you're inside it now. It's alive, but it obeys your will only if you calm your mind. Alex clenched his fists, taking deep breaths. Slowly, he forced the armor to respond, bending the energy. Arcs into a shield around him. The floating stone settled slightly, hovering like obedient sparks. His chest heaved as sweat trickled down his face, but the adrenaline coursing through him was intoxicating. Then came a low, resonating roar. The walls vibrated, and shadows shifted unnaturally. In the far corner of the chamber, a figure emerged. A guardian, enormous and alien, made of obsidian-like metal and glowing with the same energy as the armor. Its eyes, if it had eyes, shone bright red. What is that? Alex stammered, stepping back. Lyra's expression hardened. That's the armor's guardian. It protects the legacy of my ancestors. You weren't supposed to trigger it alone, but now it's testing you. The guardian stepped forward, each footfall shaking the chamber. Energy arcs erupted from the floor, meeting the arcs of Alex's armor in a storm of sparks. Alex felt the armor respond instinctively, moving faster than thought, deflecting blasts of energy that should have been deadly. I don't even know what I'm doing, Alex shouted, ducking as a massive strike barely missed him. Lyra grabbed his arm. Listen, the armor doesn't just give you strength, it reads your intent. You have to want control, not just react. Close your eyes. Feel it, let it guide you. Alex did as she said, closing his eyes. The hum of the armor filled his mind, almost like a heartbeat synchronized with his own. Slowly, the energy calmed, flowing along predictable lines. When he opened his eyes, the guardian had paused, watching him. Not bad, Alex muttered under his breath, still trembling. The armor's glow had dimmed to a steady pulse. He could feel it now, more like a partner than a tool alive. Yes, but responsive. Lyra nodded, stepping back to give him space. You did it, for now. But remember, the guardian isn't the only danger. That armor awakens attention. Others, hunters, relic seekers, will sense it, and they won't be friendly. Alex's hands flexed the armor, sparks dancing faintly from his fingertips. So, every time I use it, I could be exposed? Yes, Lyra said grimly. And sometimes, using it will awaken more than power. Sometimes. Old secrets, old enemies, even traps set by my ancestors themselves. That armor isn't just a suit, it's a key. A sudden click echoed from the far wall. The floor panels lit up, forming an ancient pattern. Alex instinctively raised his hand, and the symbols responded. He felt the armor pulling him toward it, as if demanding he follow. Alex, don't! Lyra warned, but curiosity and adrenaline surged in him. He stepped forward, and the armor flowed with him, almost sliding across the floor. The light from the symbols cast long shadows, stretching across the walls like reaching fingers. The chamber seemed to expand, and faint voices whispered in Alex's mind. Chosen protector. Face the trial. He staggered, almost losing control. The guardian shifted, its red eyes flaring. Alex realized the trial wasn't just about fighting. It was about proving himself worthy. Every ounce of fear, every hesitation, would feed the armor's judgment. Alex took a deep breath. His heart pounded. This wasn't just a joke anymore. The armor was alive. The guardian was testing him, and somewhere, far beyond the chamber, the galaxy seemed to hum in response to his awakening. And as the guardian lunged, energy exploding around them, Alex understood one terrifying truth. Wearing the armor was easy. Surviving it would be something else entirely. Trial by fire, the chamber shook violently as the guardian roared, its red eyes burning like molten metal. Energy arcs lashed out from its arms, cracking the stone floor and sending sparks flying. Alex felt the armor's hum in his chest, pulsing. Faster than ever, it was powerful, but it was still not fully under his control. Alex! Lyra shouted, dodging a strike that sent a wall fragment tumbling toward them. Focus. The armor listens to your mind, not your panic. Alex gritted. His teeth. He lifted his hands, trying to guide the energy flowing from his armor. The glowing symbols along his arms responded slightly, bending toward him, but the guardian advanced, moving faster than thought. The first strike slammed into the floor near Alex, sending a shockwave that lifted him off his feet. He tumbled, sparks scattering around him. The guardian's shadow stretched across the chamber, vast and threatening. Lyra leaped forward, her small frame agile. Watch me. You have to trust the armor in me. You're stronger together than alone. Alex hesitated, but then nodded. He realized she wasn't just guiding him, she was syncing her energy with the armor. Together, they formed a rhythm, a dance of human and alien cooperation. Now, Lyra shouted. She extended her hand, and the symbols on the armor flared brighter, responding to her energy. Alex focused. For the first time, he felt the armor's pulse in sync with his heartbeat, and with Lyra's guidance, the swirling energy around him obeyed him. Sparks arced along his limbs, forming a shield that pushed the Guardian's attack back. The Guardian snarled, adjusting its strategy. It swung a massive arm, sending a shockwave of energy toward them. Alex raised his shield instinctively, but the blast cracked the light dome. Sparks flew in every direction. He felt the armor strain under the force. Not strong enough, Lyra shouted. Use the energy from your core. Feel it flow from your chest. Don't fight it, guide it. Alex closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. He imagined the energy not as something he controlled, but as something he was part of. Slowly, the armor's glow stabilized, spreading along his body like rivers of light. When he opened his eyes, the Guardian paused, sensing the new power. Alex extended his hands, and a wave of energy shot forward, forming glowing bindings that wrapped around the Guardian's legs. It roared and struggled, but the energy held. Yes, you're learning. Lyra cheered. Her energy intertwined with his, creating a perfect balance of control and raw power. Alex felt something new. The armor communicated with him more clearly now. A faint voice, not words exactly, but thoughts echoed in his mind. Together. Strong. Control. The Guardian thrashed, but Alex moved with precision. He directed the energy in controlled bursts, dodging attacks and striking with calculated force. The chamber trembled, but they were no longer reacting, they were leading the battle. Then came a warning pulse. The armor's glow shifted, highlighting a section of the chamber wall. Strange alien symbols shimmered there, forming a map of the Guardian's weak points. Alex followed instinctively, striking the highlighted spots with pinpoint energy blasts. The Guardian stumbled, staggering under the combined force. Keep going, Lyra shouted. We can end this trial now. Alex focused, letting the armor guide his hands. Together, they channeled a massive beam of energy from the armor, striking the Guardian in the chest. It let out a roar that shook the chamber, sparks flying from its joints. The Guardian collapsed, but not fully destroyed. It looked at them once more, its red eyes dimming. Then, slowly, it retreated into the shadows, leaving the chamber trembling and silent. Alex dropped to his knees, exhausted but exhilarated. The armor's glow had dimmed to a steady pulse, like a heartbeat. He looked at Lyra, who was smiling with relief and pride. You did it, she said softly. You didn't just survive. You controlled it, and you did it together with me. Alex took a deep breath, his hands trembling. I didn't know I had it in me, I thought. The armor would just overwhelm me. Lyra shook her head. No, Alex, the armor doesn't overwhelm at tests. It's alive and it responds to courage, trust, and connection. You passed. The first real trial, but... She paused, her expression serious. The Guardian wasn't the only threat. That armor will attract others. There are enemies who will sense its power, and they will come. Alex swallowed hard. He looked at the glowing armor now calm around him. Then, we'll face them, together. Lyra nodded, her violet eyes reflecting the faint glow of the chamber. Yes, together. But remember this, human. The armor chooses its wearer, and it has plans we don't fully understand. Every step we take, every power we use, it will change you, and maybe the galaxy too. Outside, the stars continued to shine, oblivious to the trial that had just taken place. But inside the ancient chamber, Alex felt something new. A connection to the armor, to Lyra, and to something far greater than himself. The first trial was over, but the adventure had only just begun. Shadows from beyond the chamber was quiet. Now, but the calm was deceptive. Outside, the alien city gleamed under the starlight, but Alex could feel it, something watching. The armor's hum vibrated softly against his chest, almost like a warning heartbeat. Do you feel that? Alex whispered. Glancing at Lyra, she nodded, her violet eyes narrowing. The Guardian wasn't alone. Its retreat was a signal. Someone or something knows the armor has awakened. And they're coming. Alex swallowed hard. Hunters? Worse, Lyra said, scanning the chamber's exit. Relic seekers, mercenaries, ancient enemies. They don't just want the armor, they want its power. Before Alex could respond, a pulse of energy hit the chamber walls. A shimmering doorway appeared, carved from pure light, and through it, silhouettes emerged. Strange alien figures, taller and sharper than any Lyra had seen in her lifetime. Their armor pulsed faintly in response to Alex's glow. They came for it, Alex muttered, tightening his fists. The armor's glow flared, sensing their intent. We have to stop them. Lyra nodded. Not just stop them. Survive. The figures advanced, and Alex felt the armor respond instinctively. It moved with him like a second skin, projecting arcs of energy that pulsed and flowed around his limbs. But this time, the power felt different, stronger, unpredictable, more alive. Lyra shouted. The energy. It's reacting to them. Focus your mind, not just your fists. He clenched his teeth and forced calm. Slowly, the glowing symbols shifted along his arms, forming runes of binding, a pattern that seemed ancient even to Lyra. With a thought, he extended his hands, and the runes shot out as threads of light, wrapping around the intruder's weapons. Disarming them before they even struck, the mercenaries hissed, clearly startled. One stepped forward, swinging a blade of glowing crystal. But as it neared Alex, the armor's new power flared. His movements blurred, faster than the eye could track, and he dodged effortlessly, the crystal slicing only air. Lyra gasped. Alex, you're controlling something beyond the initial awakening. I've never seen that before. Alex's heartbeat synchronized with the armor. The whispers inside his mind returned. Together, stronger, guide them. But this time, they spoke with more clarity. The armor wasn't just responding, it was teaching him, revealing hidden capabilities. He lifted a hand, and a faint shield of pure light formed around them both. It shimmered like liquid glass, bending and reflecting the attacker's energy. Blasts, sparks flew, but the shield held, and the intruders staggered, unprepared for such a defense. We need to move. Lyra shouted, grabbing Alex's arm. The armor can guide us, but only if we trust it completely. Alex nodded, and together they ran through the twisting corridors of the ruin. The mercenaries followed, but Alex discovered another new ability. Kinetic pulses. With a stomp, the floor vibrated, sending the attackers flying backward in bursts of controlled energy. This is insane, Alex yelled, exhilarated. I didn't even know I could do this. Lyra smiled grimly. That's the armor's way of showing you. It only reveals more when it trusts you, and when danger demands it. They rounded a corner, and Alex felt a strange pull from deeper within the ruin. The symbols on the armor glowed brighter than ever, forming a trail of light leading them forward. Lyra looked at him in surprise. The armor? It wants us to follow it. Follow it? Alex asked, hesitant. Into more danger? Yes, she said, her tone serious. But not blindly, it's guiding us. To something important. Something that could turn the tide against them, or against anything worse. That's coming. The intruders regrouped and charged again. Alex braced himself, feeling the armor's hum vibrating in sync with his chest. Then, for the first time, he felt the armor communicate with him fully, not just through power, but through vision. Flashes of ancient warriors, battles fought, strategies used, and traps set in the ruin itself. He realized the ruin was part of a trial system designed to awaken a worthy protector. And now, with the intruders chasing them, Alex understood why. The armor was not just a tool, it was alive, and it would only reveal its full power to someone capable of surviving and learning. Quickly, ready? Lyra asked, gripping his arm. Alex nodded, feeling a rush of energy unlike anything before. The armor's glow wrapped around him completely, symbols spinning, forming wings of light that arched behind him like celestial feathers. He looked at the approaching enemies, and without hesitation, he stepped forward, feeling invincible, but aware that the armor still had secrets it hadn't revealed. Ascension of the armor. The ruin shook like it was alive. Alex stood at the center, the armor glowing brighter than ever, symbols spinning in intricate patterns across his chest and arms. Behind him, Lyra's violet eyes reflected the shimmering light, her fingers tight around the energy staff she had taken from the Guardian's earlier trial. The intruders had regrouped, and this time, they weren't holding back. Their armor pulsed with dark energy, crackling with lethal intent. But Alex felt no fear, not because he was strong, but because the armor had chosen him, and now he could feel its will merging with his own. Alex, Lyra said, voice tense but calm, they're not just here for the armor. They want everything your power touches. Control it, or it will control you. Alex nodded. He took a deep breath. The whispers inside the armor were clearer than ever. No longer faint guidance, they were a voice of ancient warriors, synchronized with his heartbeat. Now, Guardian, step beyond fear, ascend. With that, Alex lifted his arms. The armor's light surged outward, forming a massive dome of pure energy. The intruders charged, but the energy repelled them instantly, forcing them back like shadows against the sun. You can do it. Lyra shouted. Trust it, trust yourself. Don't just fight, lead. Alex focused. The armor responded like a living entity, flowing with him instead of against him. From the symbols, long ribbon-like streams of light erupted, weaving through the ruins' corridors like threads of pure power. They bound the intruders' weapons, disarming them with precision. One of the attackers tried to strike from above, but Alex leapt effortlessly, propelled by the armor itself. He felt every muscle, every motion, enhanced beyond human limits. Then, something new happened. The glowing wings behind his back, the ones the armor had revealed before, unfurled fully, stretching wider than the chamber itself. They shimmered with colors Alex had never seen, gold, violet, and deep sapphire, like the galaxy itself was alive on his back. With a thought, the wings propelled him forward, soaring above the intruders. This is insane! Alex yelled, exhilarated. Sparks trailed from his fingertips, forming arcs that crackled like miniature storms. Lyra followed, running along the ruins, using her agility and knowledge of the corridors to support him. Remember, she shouted, the armor feeds on your will, but it will test your judgment. Don't let power blind you. Alex's mind sensed with the armor. The intruders attacked again, but this time, he didn't just react, he predicted their movements. Energy threads shot out, not just for defense, but precision strikes, disabling them without killing. Each motion was graceful, controlled, like a dance of light and power. But then the leader of the intruders revealed their true form, a hulking figure with black crystalline armor that absorbed light itself. "You are strong," it growled, voice rumbling. "But power without wisdom is destruction." Alex felt the armor shiver under his chest. It responded instinctively, protecting him, but also teaching him. He realized that this was more than a fight. The armor didn't just give him strength, it demanded responsibility. He lifted his hands again, focusing on control instead of raw force. The energy streams reorganized, forming a giant, glowing lattice around the leader. The black crystalline armor began to crack under the pressure, but instead of finishing it off, Alex held the lattice steady, letting the enemy struggle, giving it a chance to retreat rather than be destroyed. The leader hissed, backing away into the shadows. Lyra breathed a sigh of relief. You held back. That's incredible. The armor trusts you fully now." Alex exhaled, exhaustion and awe mixing in his chest. He looked at the armor's glow. It had stabilized into a steady, living heartbeat. The whispers were quiet now, but comforting. "Guardian, worthy the galaxy watches." Outside the ruin, the stars seemed to pulse in sync with the armor. Alex realized something chilling and exciting. This was only the beginning. The intruders were just the first challenge. Far beyond, others would come, drawn to the power he now wielded. And the armor had plans. Lyra stepped beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Alex, the galaxy doesn't just need a warrior. It needs a protector, and now you're one." He nodded, feeling the weight of the words. The armor was no longer a suit, it was a legacy, alive and aware. He felt the pull of the galaxy, sensing threats, energy flows, and ancient secrets scattered across countless worlds. "Then we face them," Alex said, voice steady. "Together." The ruin fell silent, bathed in the glow of his armor. But in the distance, beyond the stars, faint pulses of energy responded. The galaxy had noticed Dot, and somewhere deep in the armor, a soft pulse of light shimmered, a promise, a warning, and a challenge. The adventure was over for now. But the story of the human who wore alien armor had just begun.